Hello, this is a four-part video series where we'll walk through establishing a Tableau database. Let's begin. So the first part to get up and running is to link in our data, right? And in this situation, we'll work with the GBI, the global bike, which is in an Excel format. Several ways have been discussed to integrate it into Tableau. I've started off with the software you open. We can drag and drop it, or we can add it. As it's showing now, it's blank and it's as a fresh open, right? So let's start and let's bring in our first data source. It's taking a little while. Next, we can either click the add. Since the data came, it recognizes the path, right, or the first one. So it's going to go back and look in that folder. That's why I highly encourage you to drop the data that will comprise of your Tableau database into a single folder. So we can go to add. Now automatically, we need to tell it to the Excel file, but it's going to come to this path, which is where the first one came from. Let's go customer, open. And Excel, sales org. Be a total of 5 of them that we integrate in. And if you're following along, I'll walk you through this. We need material and category. And just for fun, we'll drag and drop category in. Product category. And it'll be sequential. And we're at this point, we're done with the Excel folder. We've got all of our data here. To integrate it for a table via primary key, we got to have some connecting point to link these tables. If you happen to see a screen looks like this, double click and start with your beginning field or data set. Here's what we don't want to do, because it will give you a many-to-many relationship. That's what we see a straight line, right? So click customer and bring it over. You're going to get populated 1. This is telling you it's making a copy. With doing a default of many-to-many relationships, it can duplicate. And that's what we don't want to do. You're seeing this particular data set being duplicated, or else it'd be just customer. And it can be problematic later down the road. So I highly discourage doing a many-to-many relationship. Okay. The easiest way to remove it, click your drop down and remove. What we have to do so that we can do an inner join, open, and you're going to see a dialog. It looks like this, and it's talking about table making. Okay. So next, it's narrated and written throughout your first module of the subcategories that will link these data sets. I created this for you to kind of look at. This is done in Lucid Chart. So within sales transactions, we'll do customer. And within the customer table data set, we'll do customer. So customer to customer. And then when we link sales transactions to material, we'll do product and material. Okay. So essentially within the sales transaction, a product is synonymous with material. So let's do it. Customer. Drag it over. And keep in mind, if we get an error message, which we do, it'll tell you what the problem is, and there's a mismatch. So the customer number is whole, and the customer is it's basically trying to populate for us. It's string, and we want all these to be string. Okay, so let's do that. An easy way to is just go to your sheet, sales transaction, right there it is. There's a customer. Let's change the data type to string, and that should fix it. When we see these ABCs like so, that's telling you it's a string. These are our headings, right? If we go back, that should have fixed it, which it did. And we're not really seeing any data populate down here yet because we haven't done an extract. Once we do the extract, it'll start populating the data. We can do it now. Why not? And then go back to live. We need more data, and it'll start populating for us. All right. And next, let's bring in, we can do sales org or material. It doesn't really matter. We'll do the sales org, okay? Remember, click on this, and then you're going to pull in your Excel sheet from below in your sheets. And that's what these are called to. Obviously, they're sheets. You can see the first one. I'll pause it while it's loading. Okay, finally loaded. And from this point forward, since it's the data, we did an extract in the live. We're basically trying to trip it. It just didn't load with our customer, but now we are. Okay, so let's check out our joins. Language key is not going to work. Okay, so, and we are in a customer, so let's go to the sales org right here, right? And language key is not going to work there, sales org. There we go. And you can scroll down here. Be sequential in order, so we'll go blue, orange, and then the green. So if we keep going through those null values, we just have a missing state for those particular records. I should tell you this. The top, when we start going, these are called fields, and a row, at least for databases, we call them records. Get into the sciences or research observations. All right. And we can tell here that it is a string, right? So if we look at the sales org. Okay. Next is material. Let's drag our material over. And it's populating the sales transaction like it should. Let's see what it's trying to join. It's trying to do division to division. That is not what we want. We want product to material. Okay. So let's go product. Material. If they were misclassified, we would get an error like we saw in the first one. These do not appear to be that way. So, and lastly, product category. We'll drag it over. And typically from watching earlier last night, many folks were getting this similar type setup. Like, well, how do I get it down here? Okay, so let's click on our join and let's just point it. We're going to get off the language key, but remember, these are the data sets. So we need to go to material, okay, and material, off of the language key, and product category. But it's not populating. Let's see, did we do something? Product category, my apologies. This will fix it. That's good that happened to kind of show what happened in the event that your data, once it was populating, this goes away. This will bring it back. And there we go. If it wasn't populating and like so for you, when you click your extract and then you go back to live, that will turn on pulling the data and populating it for you. And that kind of takes care of the first part of getting your table set up for GBI. Thank you.